Of Nelson Mandela Bay. Several people have died in the province due to gang-related murders. Children are often caught in the crossfire. In a recent shooting, a 2-year-old boy died after being struck by a stray bullet. Police are investigating a case of murder and attempted murder.
Hartbeespoort Street in Helensvale, or Die Gat, is where little Hakeem Bartman lost his life. The toddler was playing outside when a group of gangsters opened fire on the neighbor's 17-year-old son. Instead, the bullet hit 2-year-old Hakeem, who was playing in the street. His distraught mother says her son was stolen by gang violence.
Came here by the door, then my nephews came with Hakeem in his hand. Then I called that guy, and he took me to the hospital. He was alive on his way to hospital, by the hospital, on cover to 3. And the doctor came to tell me he's dead. They can do nothing more.
The Provincial Gang Investigation Unit has arrested a 22-year-old man in connection with Hakeem's death. It apprehended him at a tavern in Galvindale. He's a member of the gang, the Upstand Dogs. Bartman is seeking justice.
I want him to stay in court for the rest of his life. Not to get bail or come out or win the case. I want him to stay there in jail. Because he said, how must I feel if I look sometimes, any time in his face when he's outside.
Helensvale, which is otherwise known as Katanga, is a well-known gangland in Port Elizabeth. It's been witnessing violent crime since the 60s. 17 gangs are currently operating here. Bullets fly regularly from different directions, a daily struggle for locals who have to dodge the shots. Social workers believe residents turn a blind eye to protect their families, and instead of reporting criminals, they buy their lives through silence.
The person, the survivor, would be so fearful, and many times the communities, even themselves, they might even know the perpetrator of the violence, but in many cases they won't be able to approach the police, being scared that the police have some connection with gangsterism, which is not always the case. You get very good policemen out there trying their best to curb all the violence happening.
Children who grow up on these streets think that gang warfare and street violence is normal. Bartman says the ordeal has left her paranoid. She now keeps her other 2 children indoors.
I keep him in the house or in the yard. I don't let her go alone to the shop or anyone. I go with her, or I ask her to come and sleep, or we're watching movies and post the kids, or I learn her to write. That she be in the house, not outside, because everything can happen.
Former Police Minister Fikile Mbalula pledged last year to bring in the army to assist police and announced plans for a new police station in Helensvale. But for Bartman, the intervention is too late. Sitting on the steps overlooking the street where Hakeem used to play will always be a painful reminder. She hopes that one day the gangsters living in her community will put down their weapons and spare the lives of innocent children. Jade Lee Paulser, SABC News, Port Elizabeth.
Right now, raising literacy levels of our country's children comes into sharp focus as South Africa ranked